In this video, we're going to be swapping out these old builder grade boob lights for some fancy LED can lights. I'm going to show you all the tools that I used and the process that it takes, and we're going to figure out whether or not it was worth it. I'm Josh, this is How to Fix It Workshop. Let's get started. So we currently have two of these boob lights. I don't know if that's what you call them, but I heard somebody call them that one time and I thought it was hilarious. We have one in the center of this room, which the room itself is about 100 square feet. It is probably hard to tell in the video here, but it's about 9 feet across and 13 feet long. And there's a second light over here that I've already taken down to start to inspect a little bit. There's two individual switches that control these lights, and we're going to be putting in these can lights here. Full transparency, the Lumeri reached out to me a long time ago and asked if I wanted to try out these lights. I was going to put them in my home office upstairs, but they had originally told me they were going to send the 4-inch, but these came and they were 8-inch, which are huge. And I thought they were just going to be too big for the home office, and I've had them sitting around for quite some time, so I thought they would fit well down here. The plan is to replace both of these lights with a can light and then add two more. With it being about 100 square feet, we don't need a whole bunch of light down here, but I thought I could just put them all in a line. So I'll put one here, one replacing this light, and then another one here. So they're going to be about 3.5 feet apart, all in a row. And since we're about 5 feet away from that wall and 5 feet away from this wall, it should give plenty of light to both sides of the room. So since I have an 8-inch can light, I needed to purchase an 8-inch hole saw, which these are not super common. Most of the can lights are 4 inches or 6 inches. So I had to purchase this great big guy here, and I'll leave a link down below. I also got this dust shroud to try to catch the debris as I cut the giant holes in the ceiling. I'm pretty nervous about this because, I mean, there's no going back, and these are going to be great big giant holes. We'll see how it turns out. There's probably going to be an electrical box in the ceiling. It's going to be 3 or 4 inches in diameter, or it might be square. In my case here, this one's round, obviously, and it's attached somewhere in here. I don't want to make a huge mess and make this hole larger, so I thought I came up with a brilliant idea to put a piece of wood in here. I have all the wires like tucked back out of the way. I cannot get in here to cut out this box, but I do need to remove it. So I'm going to use my drill, and it needs its little drill bit to get started here. So I'm going to use this center hole to go through, and then I'm going to put this 8-inch can light back in the same spot right here. I have my floor joist for the upstairs marked out on either side here. So there must be a piece of board that is stretched across these floor joists here that this box is attached to. I'm really nervous about this. Like I said, there is no going back once I cut this giant hole in my ceiling here. So I'm just going to get that drill bit lined up in the center of the hole and get started slowly. I think I'm through. No dust came out. That was amazing. Oh my gosh, that is perfect. I did not expect it to go that well. Let me bring you in here and take a look. Such a clean cut, and just as I expected, there's a piece of wood here that expands between the two floor joists, and that's what this box is attached to. So I couldn't get in there to get these nails out. Now there's a lot of clearance here. I can get in there very easily, and I can remove these screws. So now we can take out this box and run the electric. All of the dust and all the mess was caught inside of this. So this worked out really well. I'm very impressed. I did not think it was going to go that smoothly. I'm going to go ahead and cut out all the holes for the 4 lights before running the electric. And before I do that, I wanted to show how I inserted this block of wood that allowed me to get that drill bit started inside the can light. So what I did is I took down the entire light fixture, and if you don't know how to do that, I'll look for a video that I can link below on how to remove a light fixture. So what I did is I took everything apart, and there's this mounting bracket that's going to be on the inside, and I flipped it over so it would have been pointing where the bump out would have been up inside of the hole. But I flipped it over and I got this block of wood. This is just a piece of plywood, scrap plywood that I cut out, and it's going to fit up inside there between the two mounting holes for this bracket. And I'm going to line it up so that I can screw in the mounting screws that the bracket was originally attached to, and then tighten up these two screws so that the bracket is tight against the block of wood and everything is nice and secure, which is going to allow that drill bit a nice place to get started. Just like that. All right, look at that. Nice, clean cut. All the mess is in here. Just a little bit of dust flying around in the air, but like all the big stuff is in here. This thing is working way better than I expected. I think I mentioned earlier that I actually have two switches, or had two switches to this room, one for each of the lights. I don't know why I wired it up like that. Since I have one dedicated outlet where this existing box was, I'm just going to wire up one of these boxes to it, and then I'm going to daisy chain the other two new holes from the other light that was in the hallway. Hopefully that makes sense. This is pretty simple to wire up. We have a box. Each of the lights comes with its junction box. So I'm going to feed the wires in through the side here, and then I'm just going to match the colors. So wiring up the ground wire, and then I'm going with a white or neutral wire, and finally the black hot wires. All right, tuck those into the box here, close the lid, and there are some mounting clips on the back here, but for now I'm just going to stick this, I'm going to stick it up in there once I get the can light attached. These can lights are pretty easy to attach. There's like a 3-prong outlet that goes into each other, and then there's this little screw-on attachment to make sure that the connection stays tight. So I'm going to feed the box up inside, and then there's two clips to hold the light in place, and I didn't even test fit this. We're going to see if this actually fits. Start with that one. Ooh, it looks close. Oh yeah. Oh, cool. That looks really good. I'm going to turn it on. Woohoo! Man, that is bright. It's like daylight coming through there. Not sure why it's pulsating like that. We'll have to check it out. Everything, there's an app to control these lights. So they're going to have the LED white spot in the middle, and then the LED colors all around the perimeter. We're going to get the other 3 lights wired up, and then we'll check out how to use the app. This part might be the most time consuming for me, and it might be the most difficult or confusing to explain. So here's the one we just installed. I have this hole over here, this hole over here. All of the painter's tape that's on the ceiling is marking out where my floor joists are. So this is the original light here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to install that one, and then run a new wire from there out, and I have access in the utility closet here, and I'm going to come down this bay where in between the two ceiling joists, because I can't come straight down here, and I'm going to connect this one, and then I'm going to take another line. This might not be the most efficient way to do it, but it's the easiest way that I can think of for access. I'm going to run a line back that's going to go into my utility closet and along this wall here, and then down this bay until it attaches to that light. Well, it's day 2. I worked for hours yesterday trying to get the wire to go from one bay to the next. And what I mean by bays is in between the joists. And I just kept running up against obstacle after obstacle. Eventually I had to drill a hole through one floor joist and feed the wire through. It kept getting bunched up on insulation that I have in between the two floors. That was a great idea many years ago to soundproof, or not soundproof, but deaden the sound between the two layers, upstairs and downstairs. But man, did I fight with getting that wire through. Laying in bed last night, thinking about it for a minute, I finally thought of a way to stick some pieces of wood up through this light here and push them back so that there was a flat surface, and to be able to push that wire through as it slid down the bay. And I didn't even think that it stood a chance because I failed so many times, but I caught the moment when I realized that I actually found the wire, and it was so exciting.
Oh, oh, yes, finally.
So I have a junction box in there with 4 wires wired together, and I had to run another one that came across over here and then into a junction box in the closet, and finally over to that last light. So everybody's situation is going to be different. Not everybody's going to have access to their floor joists or for their roof or ceiling, but that's just what worked in my situation. Now let's take a look at the app for these lights. The lights come with a little booklet with some simple instructions on how to download the app to get you started, and then once you download the app, it's pretty straightforward. You can select all of your lights and connect them to your Wi-Fi, and then they become a smart device. The strobing at the very beginning is just an indication that they are ready to pair. So once you open the app, you can select each light and name it accordingly to what the individual light represents, if you have them in different rooms, or maybe it's the location that you have them in, so you can set them all to a different brightness. You can group them all together into one large group. So in my case, this is our home gym, so I've got them labeled as home gym. And then as you enter into the lights, I'm looking at the group set together, and we can dim the lights all at once. We can also switch to the auxiliary light, which is going to have, in this case, some blue lights going around the perimeter. One unfortunate thing is you can't run both the auxiliary lights and the main lights at the same time, which I think is kind of a drawback. I think it'd be nice to be able to do both. You can turn off both, but you can't turn on both. And then of course you can change the colors to, like they say, millions of different colors and patterns, or you can set individual scenes based on the mood that you're in. To answer our question from the intro, was it worth it? Yes, I believe 100% that it was worth it to improve the lights that were in here, from that builder grade boob lights to these really cool fancy LED can lights. The smart lights are nice to have, but in all honesty, I'm not sure how often we're going to use that functionality, and there's probably a cheaper option out there available. Total cost for me to do this project, or for you to do this project with the same materials and tools and all of that, is probably a couple $100. I'll leave the total sum of what everything costs over here whenever it's completed. But I think this is a very approachable project that anybody can tackle, and especially if you're looking to just replace your existing light fixtures. This is the first project in a multi-part series to renovate our home gym. Up next, we're going to be moving this TV over here to this wall over here, and we'll have links to those videos right here and the overall project in this box down here. Hope you like this video. Please give us a thumbs up and consider subscribing, and thanks for watching.